Hello and welcome back. Here are pages 18 through to page 22. Please, remember to like and subscribe to really spur me on to upload more pages. Thank you. Before we start reading my book, let's look at a few photos of fish, just to get us in the mood for learning about this great hobby. Let's open the book. Page 18. Above is an example of an aquarium with a larger surface area. This is ideal for the comfort of the fish and correct light penetration to the bottom of the aquarium. Above is an example of an aquarium with a smaller water surface area. The fish may find this stressful. The deeper the aquarium, the stronger the lighting required. Fish like to swim side to side in a natural way and not up and down. A round aquarium would be better than a tall thin one. Fish only aquarium. If you decide on a fish only aquarium, it will be a lot easier and indeed a lot cheaper to purchase and maintain. You don't need one half of the test kits involved with reef keeping. You won't need some of the equipment. No additives to purchase. No dosing additives. For instance, calcium, magnesium, alkalinity buffer, etc. This makes it more appealing if you're on a budget or have strong work commitments. All you need to worry about is the comfort of your fish and nothing else. In the event of your fish getting ill or diseased, you can treat a fish-only aquarium with copper. However, not if you have live rock in your aquarium, or your aquarium is a reef type. You cannot use copper. Marine fish are so colorful, and there are many more invertebrates to choose from. If you want to see a lot of movement in your aquarium, then a fish-only aquarium is for you. There are a lot of beautiful fish you can keep, but some you can't keep them with corals. Some people just jump straight into setting up a reef aquarium. It may be an idea for you to start with a fish only and then move over to a reef as your experience grows. Most marine fish are caught in the wild, not bred in captivity. This means that they can carry parasites or diseases, so you have to quarantine them before introducing them into your aquarium. You are much better off buying captive bred fish because the ocean is a very stable environment. Wild-caught marine fish are sensitive to changes in their environment, such as different water parameters. Fish that are caught in the wild can be difficult to feed. Sometimes, fish need to be weaned onto pet store fish food, which can take weeks or even months. Because wild-caught fish often need to be shipped, the shipping cost is factored into the cost of the fish. This means that most saltwater fish are expensive. Wild-caught fish also pose environmental issues, because as demand goes up, the fish population in the ocean goes down. This is not good. Saltwater or freshwater aquariums. You may still be undecided on starting saltwater tropical or freshwater tropical. Well, maybe this next page will help with your decision. Hobbyists agree that maintaining a reef saltwater aquarium is more difficult than maintaining a freshwater aquarium, but this could be a good thing for someone who likes a challenge. It involves extra maintenance, higher startup costs and higher maintenance costs, because things like maintaining salinity, checking water parameters, feeding corals as well as fish. If you have the time, money, and dedication, keeping a reef aquarium can be a fun and fulfilling hobby, particularly as the aquarium matures with age. Once you have set up your marine aquarium and learn how it runs, you will find it to be an extremely satisfying and rewarding hobby. In the event of your fish or corals getting ill or diseased, you cannot treat a reef aquarium with copper. If you do this, you will kill your reef aquarium. Some people like the fact that you can keep a lot more fish in a fish-only aquarium. It will appear busier and you can mix different types of fish. While reef aquariums look a lot more tranquil, as the corals flow with the current of the wave makers, they also limit the kind of fish you can keep. You cannot keep corals with some type of triggerfish, angels or butterflies. Another thing to keep in mind with a reef aquarium is the water testing. If you plan on keeping hard corals, you will need to do many different water tests, along with the normal pH, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate and phosphate. You will need to test for things like calcium, magnesium, strontium, KH, iodine, and a few more depending on which corals you decide to keep. It will take a lot more time and dedication to run a reef aquarium, and you must allow for a bigger budget. Keeping a reef aquarium is a whole different ballgame. Pros: reef tanks are more diverse, more interesting to view up close, more colorful, and they have more individuality because of the option to have a variety of livestock. If you decide on a reef aquarium with fish, it will provide a more natural environment for your fish and will be less stressful for them. Reef tanks can look breathtaking. Plus, there is nothing like the joy of watching your coral grow from little fragments into large mother colonies. Cons: reef tanks are more difficult to maintain, require more dedicated time, because water parameters must be kept spot on. You will need to purchase additives, special foods, more equipment, better lights, a more sophisticated filtration system, so the cost is all around greater. Reef tanks require greater knowledge to maintain, and they also involve risk and a greater challenge, thus increased risk. After reading the above, I'm sure you have probably decided on a freshwater tropical aquarium. But, if you have decided that you are not up for the challenge of keeping a reef tank, check out my other book, Tropical Fish for the Complete Beginner. What supplements do I need in a reef aquarium? Calcium. This is one of the most talked about ions in the reef aquarium. It could be argued that this is one of the main things in the growth of hard corals. Always make sure that your magnesium is in range before you add any calcium or alkalinity. Calcium builds skeletons and shells. Animals and corals take up the calcium, so for that reason we need to monitor the usage of it. Do not adjust anything unless you can test levels first. Always aim for 400 to maintain your corals at their present size or 450 for growth. If you are using anhydrous calcium chloride, remember to add the solid chemical to the water and not the other way around, as this can give a violent reaction. Max rate per day is 20 ppm. Magnesium. This is the third most abundant iron in the sea. This too is required for growth in a marine reef aquarium. If we didn't add magnesium, we would struggle to keep the calcium and alkalinity levels that we aim for. Another mineral we need to add is strontium. These three elements, cal, mag and strontium, are very similar chemistry and are so much alike. They actually get in the way of each other under different circumstances. Do not adjust anything unless you can test levels first. Max rate per day is 50 ppm. KH. Carbonate hardness does two things. 1. When it is maintained at 8 degrees and above, it will stabilize the pH. In other words, it helps with fluctuations. This is the main thing to know about KH. As long as you keep your KH between 8 and 12, then things will be fine. Even up to 14 would be okay. 2. It helps coralline algae and corals to form along with calcium. If you have high calcium but the KH is low, then your calcium will not help to grow your corals. They both need to be added in the correct amounts to work. Important: never add more carbonate. That would adjust it more than 2 degrees a day. When dosing bicarbonate, it is very important not to dose any other additive at the same time, as ions will react with any excess magnesium and calcium. Do not adjust anything unless you can test levels first. Max rate per day is 1 kh. pH. All reefers aim for a pH of around 8 to 8.3, but this can fluctuate between day and night time. Lights on, lights off. The reason for this is simple. Photosynthesis occurs in corals and algae. They absorb CO2 from the aquarium. This will increase the pH. At nighttime the reverse happens. They release CO2 back into the water. This causes a pH drop. For this reason, I use a refugium. This is because the refugium is full of microalgae, and as long as you have the refugium light on, the reverse of the display aquarium, then this will prevent too much drop of pH. Please note, it is possible to get faulty readings from your test kits. It may be due to the kit, or it could be the way you have carried out the tests. But regardless of fault, if this arises at any time, before making any adjustments to your water, please check again, preferably with another test kit, or ask a friend to use theirs, ideally a different brand. I would not like you to make an adjustment with any additives and totally throw your water quality out. Thanks for watching. New pages are added every few days. Please like and subscribe so I can keep uploading you information.